What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nesta TV, and today we're going to be talking about the youth players in the Arsenal, in and around the Arsenal first team, and why I think that Arteta should definitely get these guys involved, give them more play time, more game time, and stuff like that. So right now I feel like Arsenal is leaning towards a lot more experience, and right now, in my opinion, I feel like experience is not really all that. Back in the Wenger days, Wenger used to trust a lot more youth players. He didn't really bring us a lot of trophies at one point, but we got to play some good ball. The youth players was hungry. Look at the Jack Wilshere, the Fabregas when he came in. Even Henry came in at a young age. Who else? We had a lot of, young players in and around the squad, the Nasri and stuff like that. Even Gael Clichy was a young player. He wasn't all that, but he was a young player when he first came in, and Wenger believed in the younger players. And now I feel like Arsenal is leaning towards more experienced players like David Luiz and Xhaka, Lacazette, and to be honest, I don't feel like that's working for us. So we're going to talk about a few young players. I have a bunch of them on the list right now, so let's get into it. So we're going to start with Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe is 20 years old. I like him. I think he's a very good player. He got some cameos in the Europa League. I think he did really good. He scored a goal, I think. I think he have assists or two. He set up Balogun a few times in a game or so. But just his style of play, he gets on the ball. He takes the ball forward. He dribbles, he passes. He's creative, and that's what I like about him. One thing I can recall when Unai Emery was here, he got him involved a lot in the Europa League, and he really shined. He really played good, and even he went on loan, and he came back from loan. He did well, and I don't feel like we build on it. I know he had some injuries and stuff, but I feel like he can get more involved, and I feel like if he was to get Emile Smith-Rowe involved and give him more game time, that will help him. Because one thing I like about the younger players is that they're hungry, they want it, compared to experienced players like a Willian. Willian already achieved almost everything there is to achieve in the game. Champions League, Premier League, and all of that. Is he going to be as motivated anymore? Not really. He's come to the end of his career, so not really. Compared to a younger player, younger players want to make a name for themselves. Look at Gnabry. He was hungry. It didn't work off him a few times. He was hungry, and look at him now. One of the best wingers in the world. So I would say get Emile Smith-Rowe involved. I would like to see him play as a number 10, as a wide player and stuff like that. The next player we're going to move on to is Joe Willock. Joe Willock got a lot of game time. He's been getting a lot of game time. I think last season he got the most minutes, I think, as an Arsenal player. Most minutes off the bench. Some stat like that, but he gets a lot of game time. He can be a good player, but I don't feel like he's being coached well. He tends to hold on to the ball too long. And he over dribbles sometimes. He take too long to pass the ball off, and I just feel like if he is coached a little bit better, I feel like he can do better. And that's my thing about Arteta. When he first came in, they said how much he helped Sterling and Sané at Man City. So we was expecting him to coach these younger players and help them to become the best they can. But I haven't really seen it. Like, Joe Willock is a good player, but I feel like he holds on to the ball too long. So I feel like if they coach him better, he released the ball. He have the work rate. He have the vision. He have the right idea. He's a goal scorer. So I feel like he can be that Aaron Ramsey type player that we've been missing. From the midfield, go forward, get in the box and defend. I feel like he got it in him. So I would definitely, he do get a lot of game time. So I can't really talk for him, make it look like he don't get a lot of game time, because he get more game time compared to these other youngsters. So I just want him to work on his game, get him to move that ball much faster, get in the box, score more goals, and he can be a player for the future. I like him. I don't have no issues with him. I feel like he could have benefited from a loan, but why would we put him on loan when our squad is not even all that? So I just hope that he improve and he get better and he can bring more to the Arsenal squad soon. We're going to move on to Rhys Nelson. This is a player that I like a lot, and as a young player like Gnabry that we had let go, I feel like he's next in line that You gotta get on him. He's a player, a confidence-based player. You can tell when he's confident. He gets in. The way he play, his style of play, he dribble, he take players on. He give you some decent crosses sometimes. He can score goals, and I just feel like we need to build on him. You know, we need to build on him, give him more game time. I definitely would like to see him start over Willian, because you see the difference. He is hungry. He is working hard. He get on the ball. He wants to create. You know, you can tell something about Rhys Nelson that he wants to be a better player. He went on loan maybe a few seasons ago, 2 seasons ago or so, to Hoffenheim, I think, in Germany, and he did great. He did great over there. He scored a few goals over there. He got some assists. I was keeping track of him. He was playing like as a winger, striker type stuff sometimes, and I think he did really good. But once again, just like Emile Smith, well, I don't feel like we build on it. So with him, I would say get him more game time. I know he's just recovering from an injury and stuff. Get him involved. I want to see him playing instead of Willian. Even if he come off the bench after Pepe or Saka, whatever the case is, get him more game time. Because if he can come off the bench in a game where the fullback is already tired and you have Rhys Nelson coming on, get him in there, you know, coach him much better, make him be more direct. He do have it in him, I do see it, but the more game time you get, the better you get. So that's what I want for him. I don't see him starting over Pepe or Saka as wide players, but you know, cup games, he been doing his thing in the Europa League games and off the bench. I would like him to be one of the first attacking subs off the bench going forward until he can hold on a starting place. But sometimes he's not really included in the squad, and then sometimes he's on the bench, he's not getting game time. I don't really like that. So let's get Rhys Nelson involved. I think he's a player for the future, an attacking winger, left side, right side, and he will take players on and all of that. So I wanted to see more of Rhys Nelson. We're going to move on to Eddie Nketiah, and this is a tough one. I like Eddie Nketiah. I remember when he first burst onto the scene, scored them goals against Norwich, helped us win the game, but with him, he been getting a lot of chances lately, and for some reason, I feel like Arteta rate him highly. But compared to a Lacazette, he do offer something. I think he work harder forward more than Lacazette does. Lacazette drop back and do a lot of work like that. Eddie Nketiah, I can't doubt his work rate. I think he work really good off the ball. But on the ball, especially in the box, I don't feel like he's as sharp as he should be in the Premier League, let's say. You know, he do get a lot of game time, maybe off the bench. He's like Arteta's first sub off the bench. You know, when you want to take off Lacazette or whatever. So I'm surprised to see some of the games he starts instead of Lacazette. And I'm fine with Arteta having confidence in him, but I don't feel like he give as much in terms of goals and stuff as to match up with the game time that he's getting, if that makes sense. I do like him as a player. I do feel like he would have benefited more from a full season of loan, but you know, he came back from Leeds and stuff like that, and I guess it didn't work out for him. But I do really like Eddie Nketiah. I do think that he's a player for the future. He's a good striker, don't get me wrong, but he needs to be much better in the box. I feel like his weakness is being in the box in a one-on-one, you know, like getting the ball and shooting foot and shooting. Sometimes he takes shots and his shots is just like too weak. So I want to see him get better. Arteta need to work on him more, get him much sharper in the box. You know, compared to like a Greenwood, I don't even think they're both youth players, but I don't think he's on Greenwood level. You know, in terms of in the Premier League, like Eddie Nketiah can score all the goals you want to score in the youth level for England under 21 and all of that, but in the Premier League is where it counts for us. I think he holds a record of most goals scored as a youth player for England and stuff like that, but in the Premier League it counts. You know, for example, like a Greenwood, as I said, Greenwood is sharp in the box. Greenwood is hitting, his shooting, and he's scoring his goals. So that's what I want to see with Eddie Nketiah. He do give you a goal every now and then, but if we can get more consistency, I'm going to be honest, I feel like for the most part, he might be able to offer more than Lacazette, but we need to see him score more goals. So let's see what Eddie Nketiah can bring for the future. He do get a lot more game time, but I don't feel like his output in terms of goals match up with it. So maybe we just need to give him more time. I don't know, but we'll see. We're going to move on to Martinelli. This is my boy right here, Dan Martinelli. I like Martinelli. Really good player. He is missing. We miss him in that squad. And last season, he tear it up. He was going crazy last season. His work rate, his skill, his passion, his goal scoring. He is sharp in the box. You know, he's like the total opposite to Eddie Nketiah. he give you more. He give you 10 times more than what you will get from Eddie Nketiah, to be honest. And you can play him left side, right side, or as a striker. And to be honest, going forward, I would like to see him play more as a striker, running off the ball. Like, you could cross ball in the box. I remember one time Tierney put in a cross for him, and I can't believe the way he scored them headers and stuff. He's good with his head too. His right foot, his finishing is on point. And it's like, I do feel like he can give us more than what Lacazette is giving us. I heard some shouts before of him playing number 10 and stuff like that because of his work rate, but I don't really want to see him there. I want to see him in the box. You know, I feel like, to be honest, he will probably give us more than what Aubameyang is giving us, and that's just my opinion because of his work rate. He will work harder than Aubameyang, and especially right now that Aubameyang is off form. Like, and in form, Aubameyang is different, but in the play and working with the team, he will give more because he will give more on the ball. He got more skill. He will link up the play much better and stuff like that. So I cannot wait to see Martinelli come back. He's one of my favorites, to be honest. And I do feel like if he can come back and hit that form that he was on before he got injured, or even better, that's definitely going to push Arsenal forward. And do I want him to start on the left in front of Saka? No. On the right instead of Pepe? Maybe. Because Pepe tend to dance on the ball too much for me. Martinelli's more direct. If he's going to take you on, he's going to take you on. But I would like to see more as a striker. You know, you have Saka whipping in them ball from the left for him. Rhys Nelson on the right, Pepe on the right, whatever. But Martinelli up front, Fox in the box, he will give defenders a hard time. And Martinelli's only 19 years old, so definitely can't wait to see him back. He definitely should come back into Arsenal starting team. Put him up there as a striker, or off the bench, something. Get him involved as soon as he come back. Move on to Saka. Another one of my favorites. Saka is 19 years old. I cannot say give him more game time. He do get a lot of game time. What I would like for them to do, Arteta to do, is know exactly what you want from him. You know, have a plan for him. I don't like the whole left wing back one day, then left back one day, then left wing one day, then right wing one day. It's like, it's too much. I understand he's a versatile player, but you want players' versatility to come in when needed, not just, you know, you just put them here there because of tactics. You know what I mean? If you get a plan for him, but be consistent with him. I understand if someone get injured, he might have to drop back, play left back or whatever. That's fine, but get this youth forward. Play him left wing. And the other day I see him go on the right wing. I forgot. I think it was against Burnley, and he cut in on his left and he hit a wicked shot. And I'm like, yo, you know. But one of the most impressive things for me was when he played the end of last season. When he played against that same game when Guendouzi got the red, when he did what he did against Maupay or whatever, and he played number 10 that game, Saka, and he was wicked. He is creative, and if you just look at his style of play, he's not scared. He's so confident. He turned on players. He dribbled past players. Like, look at the goal that he pretty much set up. He created against Southampton. He dribbled past the three players, and then he put the ball in for, I forgot who he passed it into, and then they set up Aubameyang. You know, it's like, he is so confident. And I'm going to be honest, I would love to see Saka as a number 10. That's my preferred position for him. I do think he will be fine as a left winger, but if not left wing, I will play him number 10. Because this all the creativity people saying that we're missing with Ozil, Saka's work rate, and the fact that he's confident on the ball, put him in that number 10 position, or left wing, and he will be good. Like, if Martinelli go left, we have Pepe right, and Saka as a number 10, I'll be fine with that without Aubameyang up front. You know, I will be fine with that. So, I would love to see Saka at number 10 on the left wing. But this whole left wing back, we got Kieran Tierney. Stop playing Kieran Tierney left centre back. Play Kieran Tierney left back. Put Saka on the left wing. I like that. You know what I mean? And, you know, we can go like that. But Saka is a player for the future. Arsenal cannot afford to lose Saka. He's a great player. And England international already. And the sky's the limit for him. And I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring going forward. But Arteta need to make a plan for Saka. And for me, that's number 10. Left wing. No left wing back. He does a good job there, but I like to see more advance. Going forward, Balogun. Balogun, he's a youth player, 19 years old. A lot of issues been going on with him, whether he's going to leave or not. I hope he signed a contract. I think he's a really good player. I've been watching him in the youth. You know, I've seen a lot of highlights of him. I'll purposely go and look at games from the under 23s, under 21, whatever, just to see him play. And like, he is a skillful striker. And even the other day when he came in, I played in the Europa League, and I'm like, he came off the bench, and I see him backing into players, controlling, passing ball off. He scored a nice goal the other day too. I think that's the one Pepe set up for him. Pepe put it through and he run on a nice finish. And I'm like, this youth will offer Arsenal something different. And I'm like, Balogun is a really good player. And I'm gonna be honest, the little bit that I see of him in the Europa League, he's doing. I know the Europa League and the Premier League is different, but he is doing more than what Eddie Nketiah is giving us. You know what I mean? He seems more composed on the ball. He can finish. You know, I feel like he is more sharper in the box than Eddie Nketiah is, to be honest. But youth level and senior level is a different thing. Maybe that's why Eddie Nketiah struggle on the senior level, because it's not the youth level. You know what I mean? He have to go much harder. He got to be more precise and stuff in the Premier League. But as I said, give players more time, game time. Eddie Nketiah got a lot of game time. He should have been better by now, to be honest. I don't want to rush it, because he can move on and then become better like Gnabry did. But if we give Balogun that amount of time that Eddie Nketiah is getting, I'm sure Balogun will do a better job. That's just my opinion. But I would like to see him involved a little bit more. Stop dropping him. You know what I mean? Get him involved around the squad that he might not want to be. I heard Liverpool is interested in him. He nearly went to Sheffield United. People is going to look for him because he's a good player. He's 19 years old. He wants to be involved. He looking around and seeing Eddie Nketiah in Arsenal team. Mason Greenwood over there. It's like he's seen all of these youth players that's around his age that he played against in under 21, under 18s, whatever, that they're getting involved in their first teams, and he cannot get involved. So Arteta need to get him more involved. I know it's difficult in the Premier League or whatever, but come on. He played a few Europa League games. He did good. Get him on the bench in the Premier League so he can feel like, you know what, he's a part of the first team more, you know. So I'm looking out for him. Hopefully we can get him involved and we can see him more in the Premier League. But I really rate Balogun highly. We gonna move on to Midlanders, and he is somebody that's on and off, and I really like Midlanders. You can tell Midlanders is the street youth that got the shot at football and ended up making it. I just like his composure. He is raw, you know, and he's a good talent. And I'm gonna be honest, for me, I want to see Midlanders playing midfield. That's just my opinion. He is a midfielder. He play wing back just to help out. And even as a wing back, even as a right back, I feel like Arsenal messed him up, because when Bellerin got injured, he was doing good. As soon as Bellerin come back, Arteta dropped him. For no reason, just dropped him. And bring Bellerin back. And ever since that, Maitland-Niles never really hit the form that he did. Like, he played good in the, I think it was it was against Wolves. I forgot what game that was. He was against Wolves, and he came on and locked down Traore, you know. And it's like, yo, this youth, if you can lock down Traore, imagine what else he can do with consistency. Every time he come in, he play good, he get dropped, you know. And it's like, Arteta, you killing his confidence. You stay doing stuff like that. Nah, get Midlanders involved, even if it's as a right back. I don't want to see him right back, but at least. But you cannot tell me Bellerin is better than Maitland-Niles. Not hearing it. He might have one or two bad games, but if Maitland-Niles get the game time that Bellerin is getting, all that faith you put in Bellerin, put that faith in Maitland-Niles, and I guarantee you get more from Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles is a very good player. Attacking wise, he's more skillful. He probably faster than Bellerin, because Bellerin don't have pace anymore. And you know, he offers more. He give you good crosses and stuff. But I would like to see Cedric in the right back spot. But midfield, I would rather see Maitland-Niles in the midfield over Xhaka. That's just my opinion. That's just how I see it, based on how he plays and how Xhaka plays. Put Maitland-Niles in his position. You will get more to Maitland-Niles in the midfield position. And as I said, these younger players, they're hungry. They want to make a name for themselves. They love the club. Maitland-Niles came through the ranks, just like all these other players that are called, except for Martinelli. All of them pretty much came through the Arsenal ranks from a young age. Maitland-Niles and Saka and stuff, you know, so they know what it's like to play for Arsenal. They love this club. They're going to give the R compared to a Willian, compared to a Xhaka. They're not even from England. You know what I mean? So Xhaka is not going to be as passionate for Arsenal as Maitland-Niles would be. He grew up in England and stuff like that, in London, watching Arsenal, playing for Arsenal from a youth age. So of course he's going to give more. That's the thing that Arteta needs to think about. Get these kids involved because they bleed Arsenal. So get Maitland-Niles involved, please. Put him in the midfield, play him right back. Xhaka not supposed to start in midfield over Maitland-Niles, and Bellerin not supposed to start in right back over Maitland-Niles. That's just my opinion. And he is a very good player, and I feel like he was about to leave towards. He didn't leave, but I'm glad that he stayed. Hopefully they can get him involved. I think he's a really good player. He's better than a lot of players that we have. He needs more game time, just like these other youth players. Besides Saka and stuff, Saka get game time, but like Maitland-Niles and Rhys Nelson, the faith that you're putting in Willian and Xhaka and Bellerin, put that same faith in these guys and give them the game time. Like, I'd rather lose a game with youth players, knowing that they gave their all, and you know what, they're going to get there, than to have senior players, experienced players that you would expect more from, and they keep letting you down week after week, but you keep playing them. Play the youths, I'd rather that. So, hopefully, we see more of Maitland-Niles. I don't want him to leave Arsenal, but who knows what the future holds. Maitland-Niles, great player, whether it's midfield or right back. He might have a bad game or two, but play him. We're going to move on to Saliba. And this is another one. And I really rate Saliba. I can't act like I used to watch him game in, game out in France, but from the highlights that I've seen, listen, you know, I know YouTube and stuff can make anybody look good, but you know, when you really look at some highlights and just watch, I don't watch just to watch, you know, I watch the detail, you know, his positioning, you know, his body shape and stuff, and you know, how aggressive he is, how good he is on the ball. YouTube don't make that stuff up, because it's actually what he's doing in the game. And I think Saliba is a very good player. And I'm just confused to why, you know, Arteta is saying that, oh, he need a transitional year. It's like, I don't know how to take that, because he's a very good defender. If you were to put him in the squad, the same way you put Gabriel in the squad, not saying you have to play them together, but you would get more out of Saliba by now. Because as a youth player, you bring him in, he's hungry. He know that he came from France as a top centre-back, top youth centre-back. He come to England, of course he's going to be hungry. He's going to want to do more for the club, but for some reason Arteta wanted to give him time to adjust and this and that. Like, Gabriel had to adjust to it. Gabriel came from the same country. He might be, what, 3 years older than Saliba, but that's not a major difference. They was playing both starting for their team in the same league in France. You know what I mean? So it's like, why, you know, and Saliba actually signed for Arsenal before Gabriel did, but he went back on loan. So why you didn't get Saliba involved earlier? I really like Saliba to be in the Arsenal team. Why is Mustafi playing for Arsenal and still wearing the captain band when he refused a contract? I don't even know why I offered him a new contract. He should have been gone. But you rather put him in the squad and drop William Saliba. No, get William Saliba involved. Y'all better not send him out on loan in January. Get rid of Mustafi. Socrates is about to leave. Socrates not even in the squad. I would have preferred Socrates in the squad over Mustafi. That's just my opinion. But Saliba, I hope they can get him involved. We have too much deadwood in centre back. You know, I don't want to hear, like, even Holding. You know, Holding need get a lot of game time. Take Holding out, give Saliba a try. You know what I mean? Like, I think Saliba would offer. How bad can Saliba do in a defense that's doing so bad already? You just never know. Maybe he might come and be the shining light. So I would like for them to get Saliba involved. I really rate him from what I've seen. You know, the Premier League is a different thing. You know what I mean? So let's see what Saliba can offer. A very good young centre back. And as I said over and over, give these guys time. The time that you're giving these experienced players that keep letting us down, getting red card and this and that. Give them time, and I'm sure within 5 games or so they will adjust, and you will see them slowly getting into the groove of everything. So let's see what the future holds for these guys. Let me know which youth players that you really rate. Let me know which ones you don't really rate. I just went over a bunch of them. I know I went into a lot of detail, but that's just my opinion on all these youth players. I would love to see them involved. I'm not saying all of them at the same time, because we don't want to play that much of a young squad. If we need to, why not? But I'd rather see you play, you drop Willian, give Nelson a try, see what Nelson do. Drop Xhaka, give Niles a chance in midfield, see what he do. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they can do as bad as what we've been doing. So Arteta need to put some faith in these youth players and use them. So people, let me know in the comments again what you think. Let me know which players you rate, which one you not so rate, people. And thanks again for watching. It's your boy Nestor. and I'm out.